So hello, this is Black Mamba from Portugal. They will represent the country in Rotterdam. We're very happy to meet Pedro and Miguel. They're the two lead singers. I must say that I was really inspired by your fashion, Pedro. When I was in Lisbon, I had to buy this hat because it's so cool. I love it. It's a Portuguese quality here, and you always wear these hats in all colors somehow.
It's a cool hat. Yeah, I always wear the hat. From the beginning, it was a friend of ours that gave me the first one, the big one, that became a trademark. So when I'm not wearing the hat, people complain about it.
Ah,
So people want me to see wearing the hat. So I always do.
yeah, you were singing a nice medley in the 60th anniversary show of RTP Festival do Canção, and together with Rita Guerra, Carlos Mendes, and so on. Was this the first point of contact for Eurovision, with the Eurovision Song Contest so far for you?
It was the deeper one, you know. Festival da Canção back in the 70s, in the 80s was the major event here in Portugal, musical event. And but my parents were not really into it, so I didn't have a proper contact with it before that night, where I was invited to recreate some of the classics from the 70s and from the 80s, alongside with Chico Rebelo. That was is a one of is an amazing musician here in Portugal. He plays with Orelha Negra, with Castro Funk Connection, and loads of other projects. So the idea was to recreate those classics with a funk soul vibe. That's why he invited me, and it was the first time that I got to understand, to know some of really good songs that I didn't know about. So it was really cool. It was really cool. It was when Salvador won that final that he won, and then became emblematic here in Portugal.
Yeah. To come to your song, it's called "Love Is on My Side." I think the way you presented it in the final in Lisbon was really with a distorted picture, a little bit different, a little bit smoky somehow. Is this the way you're going to present the song as well on stage? Rotterdam, if
I guess we're gonna have the same direction. We love the black and white for a start, because our idea is to pay a tribute to those golden years, from the 70s, from Paulo de Carvalho to Carlos do Carmo, José Cid, one of those, to pay the tribute to that golden era here in Portugal. So that's why we, from the production of the song, the orchestration, the sound that we chose to fit the song, from the outfits, from the staging, that black and white, moving to some color, but an old school kind of color, like Super 8 kind of thing. All of that was the intention to recreate that universe, that mood, that old school mood.
Yeah, I understand. I think when I first heard your song, I remember John Lennon, "Jealous Guy," something like a little bit in this direction. Was my impression. But can you tell us why is the name the Black Mamba? Because it's a toxic animal. So
he is. Miguel is still there?
No, don't think so.
Miguel is having some problems with the internet.
Yes,
right?
he told me. Yes.
So okay, I'll go on. The Black Mamba is like we came back from a show, and it was that BBC or that National Geographic, I guess, TV shows on TV when we came back, and then we thought it would be a really good name for a band, and that's it. And probably when we thought about it, but we thought about and we recalled that Quentin Tarantino's character for Kill Bill, I guess. It was a Black Mamba. I guess it was a blonde one. And that reinforced the idea that it was a cool name for the band.
Okay, so yeah, interesting to see the bridge between the name and maybe the style of your song as well. I think, how would you describe the style of your music generally? Is it more blues, soul, funks, in this direction?
Yeah, we have loads of influences here. We have the biggest influence is the Afro-American kind of thing, the blues, soul, funk, gospel, rock and roll, but rock and roll from Little Richard and Chuck Berry, that one. That then became the British influences, like the British blues, the British rock and roll. You know, when the Beatles started, they were a rock and roll band. Like one of the most biggest influences were Little Richard. So I guess we have both of these influences: some British rock, some American rock, but most of it is from the Afro-American culture, full of singers like Otis Redding, Donny Hathaway, James Brown, Sly and the Family Stone, all of those, Parliament Funkadelic. We really love that era from the 60s, from the 70s. That's why we have such a old school sound, because that's a sound that binds us all together when we're making music.
You even toured around the world. I've seen that you've been to Angola, Brazil, and Philadelphia. So you have a lot of live gigs before.
Luckily we were able to. We were invited to perform all over the world, London, to Oslo, to Rio de Janeiro. But we look at this opportunity at Eurovision as an opportunity to do it more often, to go more international, to find the right partners to promote our music out of Portugal, because in Portugal there's nothing we haven't done yet. So we've played the major coliseums, the major festivals here. So we're looking for someone, for something else, and this is, I guess, is the perfect opportunity to do so, to find the right partners to take us out of here and to make us international, is more international than that.
Yeah, your song is even sung totally in English. It's the first time that we have a Portuguese entry, not in Portuguese language. So
yeah,
that can be an advantage. What has this been criticized in your country, that you're not singing Portuguese?
A little bit, but not much. I guess there's a few people. There's some people here that they think that should be a Portuguese song, fully a song singing in Portuguese, because it's a Portuguese song. It's not because we are Portuguese, but there's a few people here that don't agree with that. But on the other hand, we had this year the biggest participation from the audience, from the televote. It was the biggest of all time, and people voted for the first two songs to be in English because
Yeah.
Neve won the televote, and we were second. And then
Right.
right after us, and on third place was Carolina. So I guess people wanted a change. People wanted, I don't know if people wanted a change. I guess people would prefer to have these two songs representing Portugal outside here in Eurovision. I guess we're proud of being the first ones to break that barrier, that that wall. But we're not proud because it's in English. We're proud because we represent a change, a mind change. I guess people are changing the way they look at it, because, in my opinion, we really understand people who believe that a Portuguese song, a song singing in Portuguese, it's would represent us better because of our culture, our language, and everything. But we believe that if you prefer this song and it's in English, why won't you pick it? You should never pick a song that you really don't like that much because it's in Portuguese or in your native language. So music is an universal language. So I guess we're proud to represent that change that people are trying that's happening nowadays. So we're very proud of it.
But how did you come to for the title? How have you been inspired to write "Love Is on My Side"?
Yeah, it's a really interesting story because it all started in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. So
Yeah.
it's going back as a song,
Oh, cool.
as a full written, produced, published song. After 2 years, the story began. So it's really an interesting story. It's a story about an old lady. I'm sorry. It's a story about an old lady we met in Amsterdam when we were touring there in 2018. We were playing small venues, coffee shops, all that stuff. And as you can imagine, uh, loads of insolent characters come in to those kind of spots. And we met this old lady that briefly told us her story, and it was a sad story. That's her story there. It was a sad story. She came back from some Eastern Europe country like Bulgaria. I'm not sure. Um, with a bag full of dreams. She had a lot of plans, good plans, to come by coming to the free Europe. Now you have the wall there in Berlin. You know what I'm talking about. So so when she made it, she believed everything was it was just a fresh start, and was just everything was just going fine for her. But she moved to Amsterdam, and um, she became a drug addict. She
Oh,
became, after that, a street prostitute.
oh,
And then the old I guess everything went wrong. Everything went different from what she planned in the beginning. So that was the sad part of the story. But the other part of the story, that was what inspired me the most, because a lot of those stories over there. Unfortunately, a lot of people have sad stories in their lives. But the part of the story that it really inspired me to write the song was, after all, she has always felt that love was on her side. That love will always overcome evil and violence and all that. So she still believed, at the end of the day, that love has always been by her side. That's what inspired me the most. And then I adapt the story that she told me, and I wrote this song. love is on my side. And I guess it fits perfectly to these days where we're living in, like this kind of pandemic, when we can predict the future. We never know when it's going to stop. We have our future blocked and frozen right now. We can expect pretty much anything from
That's
it.
a beautiful story, Pedro. And I think people will hopefully recognize when it comes to the voting that, or at least appreciate that you're having such a beautiful story.
Yeah, and it's just, let me just finish. I'm sorry. And just the idea that having her to listen to the song and to realize that's her story, that would be magical. I don't even remember her name, you know. It was just a fast encounter, like, but probably if she listens to it and she realized that that's a story and that I wrote a song about what she told me, that would be magical for me. I guess
yeah,
I'll never know if she will get to listen to it, but I don't know. I'm just imagining here in my head.
yeah, would be great. Thank you so much, Pedro, and hopefully she will watch it and of course vote for you, and she will be touched, and not only her, a lot of other people when watching the Eurovision Song Contest in May. Thank you so much. Obrigado.
Thank you,
Pedro,
obrigado.
many greetings to the bands. Good luck to you in
Thank you.
Rotterdam, and good success with your song and your career.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.